Pag move off kayo, kailangan bibitawan yung front brake. Ngayon, pag hindi kayo naka-rear brake, mag-roll back yan. Make sure naka-apply ng rear brake. Ayun, ako po. Ayun. O, diba? So, don't panic.
Yo, mabuhay and what's good, guys? If you've ever wanted to take a driving class at Honda Safety Driving Center, then this video might be for you. I recently completed my basic motorcycle training class at Hsdc, but before I enrolled, I had a lot of questions that a lot of videos online didn't really answer. So I decided to make this video as a guide for those of you who have the same questions that I did. But before I get started, let me just inform you guys on a few things. Honda Safety Driving Center offers a ton of classes. They offer driving classes and they offer motorcycle riding classes. And for each category, they offer manual transmission and automatic transmission classes. They offer big bike classes. They offer review classes, a ton of classes. I myself took the basic motorcycle class, manual transmission, which is a 20-hour class focused on driving a manual motorcycle. Now, the reason I chose this is because I always wanted to ride a motorcycle, and I thought it'd be best that I start with a manual transmission because, I mean, automatic would be just so much easier after I focused on the more difficult thing. In any case, everything that I tell you guys about today is based on my class, the manual beginners 20-hour motorcycle class. So just keep that in mind, as some of the questions and answers that I talk about may not apply to you. However, I do feel I have a lot of general questions, such as things about the facility that, you know, anyone taking any class would benefit from. I also wanted to get this video and another video out sooner, but unfortunately I had a bit of an accident. I dislocated my finger a few days ago, which pushed my timeline back a little bit. But that's okay. I'm going to try to keep this workflow going as best as I can. So if things seem a little out of place or dated, it's because I couldn't film on certain days or go back and add some things that weren't originally meant for this video. All right, with all that being said, let's get started with the enrollment. Okay, guys, the staff at Hsdc, or the staff that is actually running the Facebook page of Honda Safety Driving Center, are very good at getting back to you. So if you have any question about the school, shoot them a message on their Facebook page and I'm sure they'll get back to you within the hour. The reason I'm saying this is because this is your first step. This was my first step. I just sent a message to Facebook and I received a message like this. So what they do is they message you the things that you need to do to enroll. The most important being you must enroll on a day that is not your first day. In other words, you can't enroll on your first day of class. And there's a reason they do this. I'm pretty sure it's because of scheduling. They can't possibly enroll everyone on the same day. I know you have a lot of questions about the assessment. I certainly did. I was like nervous. What are they going to assess? What? Don't worry about that. It's really simple. If you're in one of the beginner motorcycle classes, they are going to assess if you can balance yourself on a bike. And the best way to do that is to make you ride a bike. I thought it was something crazy, like, are they gonna make me start a motorcycle? I don't know any of that. No, they just put some elbow and knee pads on you and a helmet, and they ask you to ride around a ring twice, in a circle twice, just to see if you can balance yourself on a bike. Now, if you're going to enroll in a more advanced motorcycle class, I think they're gonna assess you on your beginning motorcycle skills. Don't quote me on that, but I just wanted to inform you what you can expect on the assessment. Also, things to note, as you can see here in the text, you also, since this is the time of COVID, when I took this class, you definitely need a medical certificate to enter the facility, even on your assessment, with 2 weeks validity. You also want to bring your license and student permit, 1x1 picture, and you want to wear pants and a shirt and closed shoes. That's for the assessment. For the medical certificate, you just need a certificate from any doctor that says so and so in my case Randy Vera, is fit to undergo motorcycle training. That's it. That's all I had on mine, nothing more, nothing less, and I used it for all 3 days. Let's see, you'll need your license and student permit because they're gonna write all that information down on your application. So don't forget to bring that, and a 1x1 picture. They're gonna staple it onto your Hsdc passport. All right, so what is a Hsdc training passport? It is this. This has all the information you need about your class at Hsdc. It also has your obligations or expectations at Hsdc. Here's where they'll use your picture. And things like the proper attire. They talk about the time when you're expected to arrive every day, things you're expected to bring, such as helmet, face shield, clothes, gloves, pants, knee pads, etc. What happens if you're late? What happens if you miss a class? So it has all the information here, and you have to sign for it if you agree to all of it. This passport also acts as sort of your grade book, the summary of everything that you will be doing in your class. And it has notes and scores for your progress. So you can see here on my first day, sorry, it's kind of hard with the light. I released the clutch gradually, which is good. I brake smoothly. I have to start here at the bottom. I didn't look advanced, so they're reminding me to look advanced when I ride and things like that. Okay, before I talk about the individual topics that the instructors teach you in the basic motorcycle class, I want to talk about the attire that you need to bring. You definitely need to bring your own elbow pads and knee pads, okay? You should be bringing your own helmet. Now, there are some students in my class that borrowed some of the helmets at Hsdc. However, I don't recommend it because there are only a limited number of helmets available. And if you don't have a helmet, you're not riding. And when it comes to helmets, I don't think they allow the nutshell helmets. They do allow the helmets that come up to here, I believe. I don't know what those are called yet. But I had a full face helmet, so that's absolutely fine. But just beware of the nutshell helmets. Now, I think you're required to bring your own helmet because we are in a time of COVID-19. Anyways, why would you want to share your helmet with someone else during this time? However, I suspect that before COVID-19, you weren't expected to bring your own helmet because during orientation, they will give you gloves and a head cap. But during this time, 2021, just bring your own helmet. There are a lot of affordable helmets out there on the market, or just borrow someone from your friend or neighbor. Everyone drives a motorcycle here in the Philippines. I'm sure you'll be able to bring your own. All right, guys, so now let's talk about the topics that you're going to learn in the basic motorcycle class day one. Day one, you're going to talk about the basic operation and pre-drive inspection. This is very important as you're going to use this on all 3 days of your class. Basically, you're going to learn about every part of the motorcycle and how to inspect your bike before riding every single day. After about an hour of that, you're going to actually ride the motorcycle already. You're going to go over things such as clutch biting point. You're going to learn how to move and stop smoothly. You're going to learn static gear shifting, dynamic gear shifting, and proper riding posture. Basically, day one, they just want you to get a feel for the motorcycle. They want you to get used to your clutch and your throttle. On day two, you're going to do a lot of turning. You're also going to learn about target stopping, perimeter riding, and staggered stopping. You're going to learn how to ride on a narrow plank and do a pylon slalom. I have a few videos on some of these, so I'm going to include that here in the video. You're also going to learn about turning and stopping. You're going to ride up a slope and down a slope. You're going to learn how to balance the clutch and the throttle throughout your ascent and descent on that slope. You're going to learn about turning and lane changing, traffic rules and regulations. Your final day, you're going to learn the S course and the crank course. You're also going to have your first try at the dirt course, a bumpy course. And the final hours of your final day, you're going to take your writing assessment. This is where your instructor has you ride the course each one by one as they watch from the second story and follow your every move. If you're signaling correctly, if you're balancing your clutch and throttle correctly, if you're not too slow, not too fast, basically everything you've learned in the 3 days, they're gonna see if you know how to apply those skills on a course and also in real life. Your final assessment may seem a bit intimidating, but really it really isn't. Don't let it make you nervous. Don't be too afraid of it. Before you take the final assessment, you are going to be guided on the assessment route by your instructor many times, and you will get to practice the final assessment route many times. And no one failed in our class. However, there is a demerit system, a demerit point system. How that system works is if you make a mistake, depending on how big the mistake is, you will get knocked a few points. Nothing really happens when you get knocked demerit points. This is just your instructor's way of saying, hey, you need to go and work on this before you take this out in the real world. However, I do truly believe that they will stop someone from being certified at Hsdc if they really cannot pass a certain topic. So don't think that they're gonna pass everyone. I'm pretty sure if you are making fatal mistakes, they're not gonna graduate you. So just try not to be nervous, guys, and try to always do your best. If you want one piece of advice from me, always listen to your instructor even while you are riding your bike. Okay, your instructors are going to be constantly talking to you on a megaphone so that you don't have to look at them when they are talking. A lot of people, what some of my classmates did was they're so focused and in the zone of what they're looking at and what they're trying to do while they're on the bike, they're not listening to what the instructor's saying on the megaphone. Your instructor is going to tell you everything you need to do to pass a certain topic or pass a certain course. You just need to listen and ride at the same time. Don't have tunnel vision and focus on what you think is the right thing to do, because these instructors have been doing it for years. So if you can do that, I promise you, you're gonna pass any topic that they throw at you. And that's about it for the class, guys. I really enjoyed it because they are really 100% hands-on. There was no lecture in this motorcycle class, and because I hate lectures. I learn best when I'm actually doing some sort of action, you know, like riding a motorcycle. You spend 95% of the time on your motorcycle. The only 5% that you're not on your motorcycle is when they're teaching you about your pre-inspection and parts of the motorcycle. Some other things that I quickly want to talk about, because I myself had questions about these, are breaks. You'll have 2 hours of class and then you'll have a 20-minute break, another 2 hours I think, and then you'll have an hour lunch, another 2 hours, another 20-minute break, and then you'll finish off the remaining hours before you go home. Now for breaks, I highly suggest you bring your own snacks and water, as they have no vending machines for food. They do have free water, so just bring a water bottle for that. For lunch, you don't have to bring your own lunch. Their canteen is pretty decent, I gotta say. I went there on my second and third day just to give it a try, and the food is pretty decent and there's a lot of room in there. So, you know, if you don't feel like bringing your own food, you don't have to. One thing that I did take advantage of are the lockers. I don't know, me being my OCD self or always being prepared, I thought to myself that they might have lockers here at this school, and sure enough, on the first day I was right. They had lockers available. I brought my own lock and key, so I was the only one in my class who was able to use the lockers on the first day. And you really want to use the lockers because If you don't, you all put your bags and personal belongings in the same room. And you know, our class was pretty nice, the camaraderie was good, so everyone trusted everyone, but you just never know, right? So it's better to be safe than sorry. Bring your own lock if you want peace of mind, and just use one of the lockers. Last but not least, guys, for all my foreigners out there, our class is taught in Tagalog or English. The classes are taught in Tagalog. Now, since I'm Filipino American, I was able to understand, I would say 90% of what they're saying in Tagalog. And so I didn't feel the need to ask them to tell me it in English. Actually, when some of the instructors found out that I was American, they apologized and said, "I'm sorry, I should have been talking English with you since day one." And I told them, no, it's okay. I can understand 90% of what you're saying, and so it's all good. So for foreigners that are deciding to take this, I'm pretty sure that they would accommodate you with an English class, or you know, instructors that speak English. Just ask them if this is a possibility. I'm sorry, I should have asked when I was there. I totally forgot, because I could understand everything that they were saying in Tagalog. But I really don't think that's going to be a problem for any foreigners out there that would rather have this class in English. Before I end this video, guys, I just wanted to give a shout out to all of my instructors out there at Hsdc. Salamat po sa iyong lahat. Thank you for all of your knowledge, and thank you for giving us that small push that we need to get better every day. You guys are awesome, and I truly feel that I learned a lot from this class. I am very confident in riding a motorcycle here in crazy Philippines traffic now because of these guys. So thank you guys so much. So to answer your question, guys, should you take a class at Honda Safety Driving Center? The answer is yes. Before I started riding, I thought I can learn all of this on my own, and something inside me said, no, just take a formal class at Hsdc. And I'm 100% thankful that I did, because there are things that I learned that I would have never guessed. Also, the way the class is structured, I feel like it's goal oriented. So what I mean by that is, like, they'll teach you one topic before moving on to the next, right? So you're gonna have your chance of doing that topic. For instance, uphill riding, right? You're gonna have your chance of doing uphill riding maybe 10 to 15 times before you move on to the next topic. And that 10 to 15 times is enough to give you the confidence you need to move on to the next topic, right? And so I always felt like that I was achieving some sort of goal every hour. And I think that's super important, especially for beginner riders. It just makes things easier to digest, right? It makes things easier to do. It doesn't put too much pressure on yourself, and it's very structured, one by one. And when you look back, you're like, wow, I know all of this already. And it gives you the confidence you need for the final assessment. There you go, guys. I hope this video was helpful for you, especially for those who are thinking about taking a class at Honda Safety Driving Center. If you have any more questions, feel free to put them down in the comments below. I'll try my very best to answer all of them to the best of my knowledge. And hopefully other riders can help answer some of those questions as well. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if it helped you in any way. And just stay safe out there. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.